Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today's video is going to be quite fun. I'm going to be playing in The Sims 4 and in the build mode, but we're going to do the color challenge using ChatGPT. So what I mean by that is I basically asked ChatGPT the following. I'm creating a Sims 4 YouTube video where I am playing in build mode and building a new home, but there is a twist. Each room of the house will be a different color, including the exterior of the home. I'm going to tell you the room or area, and you will need to give me a color for that room. The colors available in the Sims 4 build mode are red, pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, white, gray, black, and brown. First is the exterior of the home. So, did you catch that, guys? Basically, I'm going to be asking ChatGPT to tell me which rooms to create, what color to use for each room in my home. So first, starting with the exterior of the home. And don't forget, guys, to like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. All right, so the first step, of course, is building the shape of the home and the exterior. So here I am. I think for me, that is always the hardest part because I have a hard time imagining I guess how I want the home to appear from the exterior, what the layout on the inside is going to be. So it's definitely something I need to work on. Here, as you can see, I was trying to connect the columns and see if I could just make a really big column, but it was not working for me. Now that we have the exterior of the home created, I filtered for blues for the wallpaper because in response to my prompt, it told me, love the concept. For the exterior of the home, let's go with blue. It's bold, eye-catching, and gives you lots of leeway to play with siding, roofing, and window frame contrasts. Plus, blue homes have a charming, welcoming vibe that will pull viewers in right from the thumbnail. Ready for the next room? So there you go, guys. I do like the color blue. It is definitely bold, eye-catching. I went with like a bit of a darker navy color because that's one of my favorite shades of blue. I think it just looks nice, crisp, clean. And then here I am playing with the columns again, so please guys don't mind me. You know, sometimes when I'm adamant, I try to make something work, as you can see. I wanted to make a little balcony there. And then I had to choose a door, and again, always filtering for the blue color because the full exterior has to be blue, based on what ChatGPT gave me. Now that's one thing in this game, is that thinking about Inzoi and The Sims, so The Sims obviously has only a few standard colors that you can choose from, which is what I told in ChatGPT in the prompt. So the red, pink, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, white, gray, black, and brown. And so that's why I thought that this specific challenge would be better to do in The Sims rather than in Inzoi. Reason being is that in Inzoi, you essentially can select any color that you want and the different shades using the color wheel or even using a color code if you have one. So it's a little bit easier because on whatever furniture you choose, you can change up any shade that you want. But the difference in The Sims is that certain furniture will be available in a certain color versus others which might not be available. So, but also, in saying that, I do recognize that Inzoi has a lot less furniture in comparison to The Sims. So, you know, there's trade-offs everywhere, but I decided to do this in The Sims. So next, I told ChatGPT to do the kitchen. And for the kitchen, it said, for the kitchen, let's go with yellow. It's bright, cheerful, and gives a warm, energetic feel that fits perfectly with a space meant for cooking and gathering. Yellow also pops on camera and will contrast nicely with the blue exterior. Let's keep going. What's the next room? So that was awesome. That's super exciting. Yellow is really cute in my opinion. For a kitchen because it's very bright and cheery, exactly as ChatGPT said. So this was a great choice. I was playing around with the cabinetry to see what styles were available, and it was fun going back into The Sims because since Inzoi had come out, I have been playing a lot of Inzoi, so I hadn't been playing around in The Sims, and so I at times was forgetting which controls did what for within the Sims build mode because I was used to the controls in Inzoi. But I quickly picked it back up and here we go. I really like adding the upper cabinets in my kitchens. And I think it's primarily because it just takes up more space in the walls so it doesn't look so empty. That is just personal preference for me. And then I wanted to create this big, tall cabinet, but there was a bit of a gap. It's because of the bottom cabinet that I chose, so I just changed it back to the original one and it fits perfectly. And then of course we needed some appliances. I really like that a lot of these items were of course yellow, but also had kind of like a grayish shade or secondary color to them. So they all really matched very nicely together. Other than the sink is a strange shade of yellow. Doesn't really match as much, but it's okay. It's not too bad in my opinion. I really also like the lamp that I chose. I think it's really cute. Then for wallpaper, I wasn't sure whether to go with the simple yellow because I kind of liked it. And then also for the flooring, I liked a few different options here. I wasn't sure whether to go with the wood or the other one, but I decided to go with the wood option. So from there, I told ChatGPT to do the dining room next, and it told me that for the dining room, let's go with red. It's rich, dramatic, and often associated with stimulating appetite and conversation, perfect for a dining space. It will also give a bold contrast to the yellow kitchen, making each room feel distinct and vibrant. So as you can see, guys, I know it says red, and somehow, even though I read it as red, in my head, I started putting green furniture down. I don't know why. So eventually you will see that I will realize that and I will come back and adjust it to red. So don't you worry. I'm not cheating because I went back, I fixed it, but you know, I guess sometimes if you're doing something, you're thinking about something else, this is what happens. Also, green is one of my favorite colors. So my favorite color is actually red and then green, but also yellow. I don't know. Red is my favorite color, but I also, as a favorite mention, like yellow and green. I wanted to have a little bar in the dining room, and then I was trying to put some accessories. I was thinking to put in a cabinet, but then it kind of clashed because there was already a cabinet in the kitchen, so I just had to move it in between here so it wasn't too close to the other one. Now the flooring was a little bit difficult here. I wasn't sure because the shades were slightly different. I liked the darker flooring, but then when I found this other wallpaper, I felt like it didn't go with the flooring. But I really like the wallpaper, so I don't know. And of course, mandatory add some greenery because it makes sense to add green plants in a green room, right? So also saying that, I realized that the plant on the table is white, but it has a green base, guys. There's so many different options with all the expansion packs for the plants, and that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to having more of in Inzoi because there's very much a lack of plants. So hopefully that will also change soon because I feel like plants accentuate every room. I wanted an open doorway so you can actually go in and you can see into the kitchen and dining room. And then from there, I told ChatGPT to do the bathroom. So for the bathroom, let's go with white. It gives a clean, fresh, and classic look that works well in any style of build. It also provides a visual breather between the more intense colors like red and yellow. What's the next space? So, white bathroom. I mean, that is quite typical, I would say. I think when somebody thinks of bathroom, they think of white. Or maybe I do, I don't know. So there we go. I guess we're going with a bit of a simple bathroom. I decided to, because there was enough space here, I decided to put in a tub, but then I had to rotate around the cabinets because it was too much in the way. Now I always add in a mirror, and this wide one was perfect just because there's so much cabinet space. I wanted to do only one sink, but it looked kind of off because how wide the bottom cabinets were, so I added in two. And of course we need a towel to dry our hands, or also if we're taking a shower. There is definitely no lack of white items for the bathroom. Let's just say that. I went with really white for the plants even. Look at that. White ferns or leaves in a white vase. I love a fluffy rug in a bathroom. And I always choose tiled flooring for a bathroom space. I just prefer it. And also, as you can see, sometimes a tiled wallpaper as well. I thought this was pretty cute. I just didn't like the lighting. For whatever reason, it was really bright, so I changed it. And I wanted a cool white, not a yellow white. There we go, perfect. So next is the living room. For the living room, let's go with green. It's calming, inviting, and symbolizes balance. Great for a relaxing communal area. Plus, it pairs beautifully with both the yellow kitchen and red dining room without clashing. Once I started doing the green and I started looking at the different couch options, as you can see, I paused for a second and I was like, wait a second, did I not do green already? And then I looked and then I saw that the dining room was green, and then I looked back at ChatGPT, I reread it, and I realized, okay guys, I realized the dining room is supposed to be red. So that was that moment right there. So basically I kept the same furniture since I already worked hard on that part and just changed the color to red. That's it. And I realized I forgot the flower vase and also the light, but eventually later I do come back and fix it. So then back again to the green living room. There's a lot of green couch options, which is lovely, amazing, but also that makes me a lot more indecisive, having to figure out which one I like the best, because truthfully I liked a lot of the couch options. So what I realized is that a certain shade of green was difficult to find in other furniture. That's another thing. So I had to consider the different shades of the different furniture that I would put inside, because if they all clashed, even though they're all green, it wouldn't make sense, right? So I really like this glowing TV, huh? If a green glowing TV, quite cute. I needed a coffee table, of course. And then a lamp, a bit of a side table to put more things. There's actually quite a lot of cute green options. And of course plants, because a green room without plants just doesn't make sense. But because there's so many options, it took me a bit to figure out what it is that I actually wanted to include. That wall plant with the 9 different plants is really, really cute, guys. I also really like this lamp. I like the style, the shade, everything. And that green mini lamp, also really, really cute. So I decided we'll have 2 lamps. And then I decided I'm gonna put some green pillows on my couch. But I decided to go with a slightly different shade of green to pop out a little bit more. So it's not all the same kind of muted green. So there we go. Nice. Oh, it was a little flying, so I had to bring it closer because I basically lifted it up higher and then had to angle it correctly. And then for the flooring and the wallpaper, I struggled here because I didn't like a lot of the flooring, truthfully. Didn't really fit the vibes, did not fit the color scheme. So it was quite difficult. There was really nothing that I liked. Either I liked the pattern but not the shade, or I didn't like the shade but liked the pattern. Did I say that correct? Either I liked the pattern but not the shade, or I liked the shade but not the pattern there. I think that picture came out perfect for this room. I don't think we could have found a nicer photo. And then I wanted a rug as well. but the color schemes of the color shades of the green just were not working for whatever reason. So basically to say there's a lot of cute green furniture, but just not the wallpaper or flooring. So next is the study. So ChatGPT said that for the study, let's go with brown. It adds warmth and a grounded, sophisticated feel, perfect for a space meant for focus and productivity. Wood tones, leather textures, and classic decor will really shine here. So let's see. The office. The study, rather. Well, I guess study and office is the same thing. Or at least in my eyes, that's exactly what I was trying to make. A study and an office is the same. Of course, we need a table to do our work. And then the chair. We need a nice, comfy office chair. We need a computer so that way we can do all our work. I mean, our computer looks kind of more bronze, but I guess bronze is kind of like a brownish gold color. That's okay. We need a bookshelf to put in all our books and materials that we may have. Now there's a lot of brown bookshelf options, which makes sense because there's a lot of wood bookshelves. And I needed to fill the shelves up with things so they weren't empty, of course. I wanted to put in a massage chair, but there was no space, so that dream was lost. I really like this globe. I always see, you know, in some movies or TV shows when they have like a brown classic office and they have like the wooden tables and then they also have a wooden globe. That is the vibe that we're going with. That brown, feathery, furry plant-like thing was perfect addition in my opinion. I was really trying to stick with the browns and not have too much green. I hope you guys like this video so far. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and give me more ideas for videos. Let me know if you want me to have ChatGPT help me with either another build, character create, or something else. Or to do some kind of challenge in The Sims. Even Inzoi, what my Sims should be doing. And also let me know if there's something you'd like to see in Inzoi as well. I know they have released a new update, and so there's a lot of new things being added, including mod kits, some new build mode and character create items. So let me know what you guys would like to see. I also was thinking about trying the new Dune game that came out. So let me know what you guys think if you'd like to see that. It's definitely different than something like this, like The Sims and Inzoi that you've already seen on my channel, but I actually like a variety of games. Another game that I've been playing recently is Blueprints. It's more of a puzzle strategy game. It's quite a lot of fun. Next is the bedroom. So for the bedroom, let's go with purple. It's cozy, luxurious, and often associated with rest, creativity, and even romance, ideal for a personal, restful space. It'll also give the bedroom a unique identity in your colorful home. So, purple it is. Purple is not one of my favorite colors. It really depends on the shade. I like a bit of a light purple, a lilac, but for example, this dark purple is not my favorite. But there was not a lot of great furniture options that I liked, so we went with this dark purple option because again, we need the room to have some kind of synchronicity so that way it all goes and ties back together. So we had to work with what we got. Now, I don't know if this one was cheating because the TV has purple and blue lights, but it does have the purple color we need, so I went with it. I mean, in my head, it's actually less cheating than having a full black TV because there's no purple on that one, so there you go. Justification for everything. Yeah, I really did not know what to put in the space because it's a bit small, but also there's not a lot of great furniture that is purple. I decided I wanted to put in some nice purple pillows because I didn't like the just plain white. So here we go. Nice. Just one. I decided to just opt for one. Some purple accessories around the room too. And yeah, the purple flooring was the worst, guys. No joke. I complained about the green flooring, but the purple flooring was all horrendous, guys. I ended up deciding just to go with this super, super bright purple and just putting in a rug because that's how horrendous the flooring was, guys. Like, I had to go with the brightest purple, because that, in my opinion, was the best option. So, yeah. And also the wallpaper wasn't that great either. We're making do with what we got, guys. There was a fair bit of purple posters. I just didn't like very many of them. I wanted to add in a mirror. Fill up the space a little bit more with some plants. But the vases were not fitting, so we went with this tree. I guess we can have a tree in our bedroom. Alright, so next are the hallways. So ChatGPT told me that for the hallways, let's go with gray. It's neutral and versatile, helping to transition smoothly between the bolder colors of each room. Gray keeps things cohesive without overwhelming the senses in high traffic areas. So there we go. Gray hallways. I mean, there wasn't a lot of space in the hallways, so I didn't actually end up putting anything inside. Rather, I just decided to put the flooring, the walls, and also added in some photos and portraits. I really wasn't sure what I wanted for the flooring, what shade or pattern I wanted, so that's why I went back and forth a bit. And then I needed some lights, of course. There we go. Next, I asked it for the backyard. And it told me for the backyard, let's go with green to reflect nature and tie in with outdoor elements like grass, plants, and trees. And then it said, even though the living room is also green, using it in a different context, like natural textures, furniture, and landscaping will make it feel fresh and distinct. Let me know what areas are next. And the thing is, guys, because I already had a green room, there's no point. I didn't want to do it again. So I said, you already chose green. Did we use up all the colors? And then it said, great catch. Let's do a quick check. Here are the colors you've used so far. And basically what it left us with was pink, orange, and black. So since the green is taken for the backyard, let's go with orange instead. It's vibrant, playful, and works well for outdoor furniture, lighting, or garden accents. Perfect for a fun, energetic backyard. Now we have 9 out of the 11 Sims 4 color options used. Yeah, I really did not want to redo green. Just because we've already done it. We had other colors to choose from. And I think orange is actually a great choice because it's super vibrant. It's great for during the summer, which depending on where you live, if you have 4 seasons, then, you know, you're probably mainly going to be outside in the summer. I mean, if you don't have all 4 seasons and you live in a very hot area, well then you can always be outside. Sunshine and orange is a perfect match. So I wanted a bit of a pool, and I love this orange tree. I think it worked perfect. Then I wanted to add in some greenery, and as you see, I put various outdoor orange furniture just everywhere, just so I can see what options are available and then move them accordingly. Now I wanted to add in an orange fence, but I realized that I built way too close to the edge of the home. So as you can see, guys, it's been quite a long time since I've played The Sims, since I clearly forgot about that. So I had to move everything over and then just draw the fence around. All the way around. Now the gate situation wasn't great. There wasn't any good gates that really matched this, so this is the best one that we had. And then I got frustrated because it didn't align with the door, so I had to just move the door off center, unfortunately. I wanted to have this cute seated shaded area, so that way if you want to just hang out in the shade, so that way you're not in the sun, you want to read a good book, sit and chat with your friend, you can do that. I think the orange floatings are really cute. And then I wanted to add in an orange bike, why not? I wasn't sure where to put it, in the front, the side, or the backyard, so I opted here for the side. And then I wanted some lounge chairs, so if anybody wants to lounge around the pool, lay out, tan in the sun, they can do that. I wanted little tables in between the lounge chairs, so that way if somebody wants to have a drink, a book, anything, maybe some snacks, a meal, they can have them right there comfortably next to them. And then I tried to see if a pillow could fit, but it kind of was mixing weird in the lounge chairs. And then I discovered this, guys. I found this beautiful shaded cover, way nicer than the other one, so I changed it. I think it looks stunning. And then I decided to get rid of the pot. Like, it just was not a cute barbecue, guys. Did not match the aesthetic or anything else. The issue with the mini tables is that because I made them smaller, things were levitating above them, and I tried to make the items go lower, but it wouldn't. So I had to get rid of the tables, unfortunately. It was a cute idea. I wonder if there is a way to go around it, and I'm just not familiar. So after I did all of that, I realized, you know, there's no point in having a second floor, just because I've basically used up all of the colors, 9 out of 11. So the only ones we didn't use were pink and black. So there wasn't enough left to have 2 floors, so I just got rid of it, updated the roofing, and then just updated the tops of the walls as well, where the roof is, so that way they were all blue. And I think it came out pretty great, if you ask me. I just needed a little bit more windows because the home didn't have enough windows, so we just adjusted that. I added some pool lights. I added this ring thing. I don't even know what that is, actually. It just looked cute. And I really like the orange. And then I decided, you know what? Because the orange is so vibrant, I'm going to make the grass really vibrant. Now, this is personal preference, and I recognize that it's very bright, guys, but I kind of like it. So, there we go. I wanted really bright grass. And then I wanted to add a bit of a path to the parts that were in grass. So I turned on the grid back so I can make it a slightly more accurate rather than freehanding it. And adding in some more greenery, because that never hurt nobody. I was trying to figure out how to arrange them, as you can see, and what kind of little pattern would make sense. And I think that worked really well. I personally think that came out really cute. And then I decided to outline the stones there because I thought it would look a little bit cute. I added some more depth to it. And then I added in orange leaves in the pool. I think it looks great. Because I guess we can't go wrong with more orange. And then I decided to also craft a path from the side of the house to the backyard. Again, using my grid lines, so that way it's relatively straight. I didn't want it to make it super perfect, as you can see. Straight enough was good. And then again, outlining it with the little stones on the side for more depth. There you go. I think the home came out really cute. Blue exterior, gray hallways, red dining room, yellow kitchen, white bathroom, green living room, purple bedroom, brown study. Let me know what you guys think. Please don't forget to subscribe and see you guys on the next one.